Your nose.
Nigga, I got 2 inches. I can't fuck. No bro. That's too goddamn big. I can't get to it.
Yeah, you good in missionary, nigga? You good? Missionary
No,
only,
man.
nigga.
I'm trying to tell you, them thighs be thick, motherfucker. They be looking like 2 baby seals and shit, nigga.
I remember my homeboy. I asked that nigga.
You need some Crisco to get up in between the thighs, nigga.
I asked my homeboy because my homeboy he like big girls or whatever. I'm like, why you like big girls? He was like, shit, because everywhere I touch it feel like a titty. I'm like, oh.
This nigga, what?
Oh,
I said,
What?
huh? He really
yo,
like it though. He really
yo,
like big girls, nigga.
shout out to my homeboy Ken. That nigga is the big bitch master. That nigga be having like 30 bitches. I be like, and they all be fat and freaky, nigga. I be like, God damn, nigga, what's up with that? That nigga was like, yo, man, I just like the big girls.
And that's what I'm saying. These red pill niggas be talking about, oh, nobody likes big women. Hell no, nigga, that ain't true.
Them
Niggas
niggas,
love big women.
these niggas be
Niggas be
lying like a motherfucker. Cause most of these, if I ain't mistaken about the statistics, like 75% of black women is overweight or obese. So if you out here messing with black women, you messing with women who carrying a little bit of weight. It's most of the women that's like skinny be like white women. You know what I'm saying?
white little Asian women be little
Yeah,
real
little
skinny.
because they men like them looking like boys and shit. You know what I'm saying? But on the real, if you're a black person, it's hard to get away from it. You know what I'm saying? Culturally, a lot of black people culturally, that's what the fuck they attracted to in a female because that's how the females represent themselves in certain parts of Africa. If you're a big girl, you like royalty in certain parts of Africa.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? But we got a history of that. We have that in our history as black people. It wasn't everybody in Africa. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't every place in Africa, but it is noted that there are certain tribes of certain groups of people who that's like the top notch woman for them. So, to each his own, man. I mean, get in where you fit in. If you can fit in between them goddamn thighs, nigga. In between the cheeks.
This nigga.
Yeah.
Anyway, welcome back to the motherfucking show. We back on a normal day, normal time. You know who the fuck it is. Your Unc, T.O.P, nephew Ro, and little cousin Tone. What's up, fellas? Welcome back. Glad that y'all can make it, even though I was almost late. I just got off work, man. I literally just walked in the door like an hour ago. And I was like, damn, I got this goddamn show. I should cancel this shit. But I was like, nah, I ain't gonna do that. I gotta talk to the people and I gotta talk to the homies about shit that's going on over the past week in each of our lives. Tonight's episode is titled Furious Styles. It's all about getting your mind right. Anyway, Ro, Tone, what's good?
Shit, man. Shit, I've been on the same shit, man. Working, writing these jokes, trying to get my content together, you know. And that's all I've really been doing, man. That's all I've been focused on, man. Shut down, show social media and shit. So I don't know what's going on in the news. I'm just trying to be all in. Cause I learned that learning from this book, nigga, your life is a joke. I gotta keep my eyes and ears open at all time. You never know when you're gonna find a joke. So I can't be too much focusing on other people, what other people are doing. If I'm gonna be great out here, you know.
Oh, no doubt, man. Shit. I be off and on social media, mostly on IG. But I've as of late, I want to say in the last year and a half, 2 years, I've been scaling back a lot because I used to be on that shit heavy. But the conclusion I've come to is that most motherfuckers they don't want to hear what's true, and that's especially true for women, But what I've learned is that and it's very astounding. But what I've learned is that it's not too much different with guys either, And I just chalk it up to, people, they don't want to deal with anything that's stressful, and even if it mean that they got to tell themselves something that's not true in order to feel better. people could do that. I could be wrong.
Let's call it what it really is. It's bitch assness. That's what it really is.
Oh Lord, speak on it.
The real problem is bitch assness is at an all-time high, my brother. Never before have you seen such bitch assness in a lifetime, man. That's the real problem, brother. Stay woke.
I have described this time period as the Tekashi 6ix9ine era. You know, the era of the fake motherfuckers, the era of the clowns. You know, the era of putting on airs and shit, acting like something to somebody that you really ain't. But one of the reasons why I entitled this particular broadcast "Furious Styles," I'm pretty sure many of you, especially if you're a black person, you done seen Boys in the Hood before, so you should be familiar with who Furious Styles is. And I like to think of myself, at least to a degree, very similar to Furious Styles. Because, you know, while I bullshit and joke around, I am quite a serious person. Real low key. You know what I'm saying? Very secretive. Or like the young lady said to me one time on the video, T.O.P, you so mysterious. Yes, baby, I know. It's intentional.
So to be clear, Furious Styles, that's Trey Daddy, right? On Boys in the Hood. Okay.
It's a classic Lawrence Fishburne role. One of his earliest roles from the 90s when he was still a younger man, you know. But what I could appreciate about him as that character is that he was dealing with a woman who had presence of mind enough that she was able to admit to herself, you know, she didn't do it outright on the screen, but she was able to admit to herself, hey, look, I have a boy child. I've raised him as far as I could take him. Let me hand him over to his father. And, you know, we here on YouTube, Instagram, Red Pill, Mansfield, all that shit, we often talk about how important a father is in a boy's life, you know, and it's very unfortunate that a lot of guys end up dealing with women that don't have presence of mind, like the lady who played the wife of Furious Styles in Boys in the Hood, and are willing and even understand that, you know, as women, they just simply aren't capable of raising a young male into a grown man. They're not equipped with what it takes to do that. But, you know, women are as arrogant as they are. And, you know, they got an army of white people to back them up. So what do you expect them to do but to be abusive? Like Patrice O'Neal said, women are abusive. Most of the time it's not malicious, though. But sometimes it is. What you guys think about that? I know, Ro, you said you grew up with both of your parents. I don't recall directly getting into that with Tone. I grew up with both of my parents too, but only up to a point. What is you guys' opinion, especially you, Tone, because you have children, you are a father.
So when I was growing up, I had both of my parents, but they weren't together. Like my parents were probably together like the first year of my life before they split up. Maybe two, but I doubt that. For a minute, I wouldn't say my mom kept me away from my dad. I guess originally he wasn't around. I don't know why. Like, I've never really asked, but at some point he came back around. I think I was like 5, 6 or whatever. And yeah, like I grew up seeing my friends who didn't have a dad versus me having my dad to say, hey, do this, do that, do that. I noticed the difference. Which is kind of why I take the whole parent thing serious. Because I seen where like my dad had saved me from situations I would have got fucked off already. You know what I mean? Like I could have been like, you know, worse off than what I am now if I'd have had some of that advice. Especially because I'm the oldest of all my siblings, so there was no big brother to say, hey, do this and watch out for that. You know what I mean? That's the father. That's the role the father's supposed to play. And for the most part, my dad played that role in my life, as well as my grandfather. And I just noticed the difference between decisions, the way I went about thinking about stuff and making decisions versus the guys who didn't have that person in their life, which kind of pushed me as I got older to, kind of be more fatherly, not even just to like, kids, but like even friends. Because like I said, my grandfather was that person for me as well. And he was still like that for my dad until my grandfather died or whatever. And so like there's never no too late point to get somebody, because it's not really about the father as much as it is about somebody that, one, understands kind of how you feel and what you're going through because y'all share similarities through genetics, but two, is able to say, hey, this path worked for me, try it out. This path didn't work for me, try it out. And that's what my dad was to me. He made a lot of bad decisions because my grandfather wasn't there for him until he had me. And my dad went to my grandfather and said, hey, I need you to show me how to raise this boy.
Indeed. Something similar happened with me and my pops. And just a disclaimer, a lot of people say that, you should respect your parents. And for me personally, the way I define respect, I would have to say to somebody who asked me that I didn't respect my parents because I lied to them quite a bit of times. And to me, respect is not lying to yourself or anybody else. But I love my parents dearly. I adore my parents. You understand what I'm saying? But my dad, my dad was in a similar situation to like your dad, because my father's father, my grandfather, he passed away when my father was already young, and he was already deceased by the time I came along. So my father didn't really have his father to lean on very much, being that he lost him at such a young age. But not only I consider myself to be blessed because not only did I have my father, I had my mother's father, my maternal grandfather. I got a shitload of uncles and older cousins. So even though after my parents split up and whatnot, I ended up getting into some trouble and shit. That has a lot more to do with me and my personality than what my parents did or did not teach me. So I could definitely dig that. I think that's very, very interesting. Very interesting how a man who almost has no direction from his father is still able to instill into his son, good teachings and qualities.
You know where that came from, which is
What's
crazy.
that?
He had a friend who he would go over to his house, and he had both his parents was married, and he just saw how they did like family stuff, and that was always something he wanted for himself. But at his house, where my grandma had like 6, 7 kids and no dad around, you know what I mean? He saw
Yeah,
the difference, and
I
he
think
was like,
my bad, my bad. Go ahead.
but he saw the difference and was like, like that's what I want. Like if I have a kid, that's how I'm gonna do it, because that friend went on to do better things with his life. You know what I mean? So like he saw like, okay, this is how I want to do it. And a lot of people either overdo that or underdo it. Nobody ever just like, hey, this is the layout of what I did to try to get as far as I could in life. Here's where I fucked up. Here's where I did good. You go for it. And if you need any reference, you can always come back to me. It's typically the ones who just like don't do nothing, or the ones that are like, hey, you're gonna do like this and you're gonna do that, and like both are not healthy for a child.
Indeed. What about you, Ro? We know you grew up, Clarence, and Clarence had parents had a real good marriage. No, I'm fucking with you. What was it like with you? Growing up with your father as opposed to people you may know who didn't.
And I'm not gonna even lie to you. I be kind of jealous of niggas that grew up in a single mother household, man. Cause them niggas could do whatever they want, man. Them niggas was gang banging, fucking bitches, skipping school, nigga. I was outside cutting the grass, nigga, being trained to be a fine young man, nigga. I didn't want to be no fine young man. That shit ain't fun, nigga. Fuck having a daddy, nigga. Niggas
It
that
was,
got single mothers get to do whatever the
you
fuck
was
they
getting
want to do. And
Just
they ain't
get that
scared of
certain.
mama no more, nigga. My daddy's still strong. I'm gonna have to wait till that nigga 80 to fuck him up, nigga. Fuck that shit. Nigga, you got a daddy, that nigga still strong, nigga. Like your mama, you be like, Mom, you ain't about to do shit. I'll fuck you up, Mom. Her
My
punches don't
dad
even
said
hurt no more, nigga. Her
That
whippings
nigga
stop
said.
hurting at
That
12 years
nigga
old,
said.
nigga. Fuck that, nigga. My
That
dad
nigga said. That nigga said. I'm jealous. I wish I would have grew up with a single mother, nigga. You retarded, nigga.
Nah, but real shit. That's one of my jokes, by the way, that I'm playing with right now.
Yo,
But
you
real
fucking
shit though. But
hell,
that's how
nigga.
it be though, man. Like, I couldn't do all of the fun shit. Now I respect it now that I'm older because I'm just like, nigga, a lot of them niggas turned out fucked up, and
Same
I see
here.
why my pops was just like, all right, nigga, stay away from them niggas. But when I was a young nigga, I wanted to go around the corner, nigga, hang out and shit. Nigga, I couldn't even spend the night at my homeboys' houses, and they lived across the street, nigga. Like,
God
that's how
damn.
strict my pops was. Like,
My,
he.
my my parents were strict like that when I was growing up. In the 70s and the 80s, we didn't really do a whole lot of that. We did it with our like my cousins and shit, but other people who wasn't related, you know, people, my people wasn't really too trusting like that.
Yeah,
But
my pop.
go
Yeah.
ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, I was saying that's how my pops was. But he just kind of knew because he was like, man, them niggas gonna be young gang members. I'm like, nah, nigga, that's my friend. And sure enough, all them niggas that he said was gonna be young gang members ended up young gang members. And
Mm-hmm.
some of them turned out okay, but they went through all the other bullshit first. But I just realized that my pops, he really protects me. See, mom usually, this is what it's like growing up in a 2-parent household. Like mom usually she like the more lenient one. That's why niggas like they mamas more, because mama gonna say yes even though she shouldn't say yes. Pops is gonna be logical and be like, no, nigga, I told you ain't gonna do that. But then I had to go over here, sneak over to mom, like, hey, Mom, can you buy me these Jordans, man? My dad said he ain't gonna buy them for me. She'll go steal money from this nigga and still do shit for me. Buy me the Jordans, nigga. But, it's good to have that balance too, though, because a lot of the times, for example, like my mom, she passed away in 2006, so my brothers were young when my mom passed away. So now they just got pops, and pops, he kind of like the stern go hard. So they didn't really get that balance, you know what I'm saying? So that kind of fucked with them a little bit too. They both turned out good young man. My pops, he did his shit, he tried his best, was a single father out here and still was there for all of us, and gotta respect that. But sometimes that balance would be like, God damn, like, my dad is the football coach. He yelling at you on the football field. Then when you get home, he yelling at you about cutting the grass. He yelling at you about doing your homework. That, sometimes you need a woman to come in and be like, hey, nigga, calm down a little bit. It's okay.
You,
Let's enjoy life a
you,
little
you be
bit.
wanting to look back at your dad like, man, shut the fuck up. I'm tired.
Like,
Yo, my pops was a Marine. He was like that too.
oh,
Real,
okay. So
real, real
yeah.
regimental, and what I'm saying, do this, do that, give commands. And you got to do it perfect and shit like that. But I learned a lot from that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
I learned a lot of discipline from my father. You know what I'm saying, which helps me today. But contrary to what most people believe about your children, your children are born, and I don't have any children. So let me state that for the record. But I was once a child. And you could go and any psychiatrist or psychologist who deal with children could tell you when your children are born, they have their own distinct personality, totally separate and alien from yours. Just because you made them little motherfuckers don't mean they gonna be nothing like you, with the exception of their physical looks. You understand what I'm saying? Tone is apparent. Tone can verify or validate if what I just said is true or not. Tone, am I making it up? Does what I just said make sense?
You want to say, something I learned is that your kid has a different personality with the same motivations.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Indeed, I can definitely feel that. Indeed.
Like
Go ahead. You just get ready to say something.
I would say, like as a kid, my dad would like eat chicken all the time, like every day, all day. I'm like, man, I don't understand how you eat chicken like that. And when I got older, that kind of became my similar go-to. But like, I wasn't how he was about it. You know what I mean? And no, I just get some chicken. No, I get some chicken. I got to a point where I was like, I'm good with eating chicken for like every day. Like, especially when I started when I was losing weight and stuff. My go-to was chicken breast and salad. And people like, you literally eat that every day? And like, I ate it so much that like, if I go too long without chicken, I'd be like, damn, I low key want some chicken. I don't want none of this fish bullshit or whatever be in front of me. And I used to make fun of him for shit like that. Also, I guess weed. You know what I mean? He was a big smoker. I didn't start till later on in life, and I became, if not bigger. You know what I mean? but but like when it comes to like the type of personality, he's more like reserved. And I'll just say what the hell ever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Me personally, I'm somewhat reserved at times, and I could be quite boisterous at times too. But I recognize that about myself, and I think my mother, out of my parents, my mother recognized it more so than my father. My father had the tendency to think that I was going to be exactly like him. But hey, I miss both of my parents. Both of my parents passed away years ago. My dad went in '99. My mom's went in 2001. My granny went in 2010. Look, man, I've been around for a while, man. I've seen a lot of people pass away. Not just in my family, but friends. So all
Yeah.
that to say, I've been here for a while. I done had some experiences in my life.
But to add on to what you were just talking about, like me and my pops, same shit. Like we're very similar, but we're very different. See, like my pops, for example, he's like a yeller. You know what I'm saying? Like do this, do that. Like me, I'm more calm, and I'm the type of person that I shut down if you yell at me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like one time we got in a big argument. We was driving home from Vegas, and we just got into this big ass argument because I never really, for example, I never really liked working with my pops because my pops, he kind of like, he the type of nigga that make you sound stupid if you don't do something right. Like, and I don't like that. And I told him, I was like, I never like working with you. It's not because I don't like working. It's just because it's the way you talk to me and make me not want to do it. And he told me, he was like, well, that's how my pops talk to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, his pops yell, like, nigga, if you yell at me, if any nigga yell at me, nigga, it's over. I don't want to hear nothing you gotta say. I do not like that because I'm very calm. I'm very respectful. You know what I'm saying? Like I never disrespect my pops in any way, but we would clash because he'd yell at me, and I'm just like, I'm ready to just go up now. Like, oh, he yelling at me. I don't want to hear nothing. I don't care if what you telling me makes sense. Don't yell at me. Like, don't yell at me. You ain't gotta do that. I'm gonna hear you no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Unless I'm just like completely in the wrong and I'm like, fuck, damn, I am wrong about that. But that's his personality. So we like similar but different. Like my pops is very quiet. I'm very quiet. We both like mean business, and if you need us, we'll be there for you. But like we don't. My pops is not the type of person like to go out of his way to see you or some shit. But if you hit him up and tell him to come through, he gonna come through. And I'm the same way. Like I'm not going out of my way to fuck with nobody. But if you fuck with me, then I fuck with you, and that's how my pops is. So we're similar but very different. But like Tone was saying, like, we be having the same objective. Like we got the same morals and same principles and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, for sure, no doubt. Another thing that I wanted to highlight, bring up in this conversation is the fact that as black men, the three of us up here, we all black men. But as black men, we get a bad rap. I speak on the subject of racism, white supremacy all the time, because that's how I contextualize our experience, not only as black men, but black people in general. And with that said, there are a lot of negative racist tropes that are attributed to us as black men, especially when it comes to fatherhood. And one of those tropes is that we as black men, we don't take care of our children, which is not true. And Tone is an example of that. You understand what I'm saying? Another negative trope about us as black men is that not only are we deadbeat daddies, but all of us we all of us is deadbeat daddies. even those of us that don't even have children, which ironically is the majority. Over 50% of black men, I think it's 54% of black men in America don't have children. 30% of the remaining 50% of black men in America are married with children. That only leaves 20%, which means a lot of these women are multiple baby mamas and they all fucking the same 20% of dudes. You remember Shorty Low? And wasn't that his name, Shorty Low, that had all the kids? Had like 29 goddamn kids.
Damn.
27 baby mamas. Yeah, it's niggas like that are used as an example of what black men are. And I thought it was important that we watch this video that I'm getting ready to show you. And after the video, I'll speak on why I thought it was important. Let's get to the videotape.
There's been this landmark study from the Center for Disease Control, which debunked many of the myths surrounding Black fathers. It found that the majority of Black fathers live with their children. Black fathers are more likely to help their children with their homework, prepare meals, bathe and dress their children compared to fathers of other races. So the absent or deadbeat Black father myth that many in America believe is really more like a lie. There's been this landmark study from the Center for Disease Control, which debunked many of the myths surrounding Black fathers. It found that the majority of Black fathers live with their children. Black fathers are more likely to help their children with their homework, prepare meals, bathe and dress their children compared to fathers of other races. So the absent or deadbeat Black father myth that many in America believe is really more like a lie.
And there you have it, especially for you Black females out there. Now that you heard it from Oprah, maybe you'll take it for what it really is. Maybe you could deal with a little bit of reality. I got my fingers crossed because I have no hope. And you hoes. But what I wanted to say about this video is, and I put it in the caption, fuck Opal. And yeah, I meant to call that bitch Opal. Because I've been around for 50 years, a half a decade, in my entire fucking life, ever since this bitch was in The Color Purple. She been shitting on black men. Only for her to come out and finally admit, you know what? So this right here, this particular thing that I'm talking about here, the deadbeat father narrative is not true. You would think this bitch would get on motherfucking national TV and apologize to us. But, she a woman, so, it ain't in her. You understand what I'm saying? But the facts are the facts. And like I said, I speak about racism in regards to our experience to give it some context. Because racism, the system of racism is what's responsible for the stereotypical trope about us as black men that we deadbeats when it comes to children. When the truth is, ain't nobody a bigger fucking deadbeat in regards to their children on this planet other than white men. All the motherfucking bastard children, they side with slave women and treated their children like slaves.
They literally beat their kids till they was dead.
That's why I don't fuck with white people like that, because they fucking hypocrites, man. They hypocrites. And I don't like the fucking fact that I gotta be looked at with a motherfucking side eye, and I don't even got no goddamn children. Just because I'm a black man, I'm automatically a deadbeat dad. I don't even got no motherfucking children. That's how racism works. Yo, shout out to the homie Cam Bash. I meant to holler back at you, man. I be getting sidetracked, man. Sometimes my attention span is really long and I can stay focused. Sometimes that shit is extremely short. and I would be doing something in the next instant. And you should talk to some of the women that I be kicking it with. They'll tell you that nigga will cut you off and change the subject like he ain't even heard a goddamn thing you said. But shout out to you, homie. Salute. I've been checking you out. Hope you're doing good out there. Hope you're living it up. And we gonna kick it sometime soon. Cam says they studied this. Black men are the most likely to be involved in their children's life and to the greatest degree comparative to other fathers. That's facts. And it would be even more if you ain't have a lot of these black women out here who were incentivized to work against black men. Because that's really what it comes down to at the end of the day. Are black women guilty of the things that they do? Absolutely. But when you put this shit in context, like I have before, for example, when black women say to black men, I don't need a man. In regards to material items, she is 100% correct. Cause niggas get their shit from the same people that black women get their shit from. They could just bypass you and go to the motherfucker who got it. And if you understand that, then their behavior will begin to make sense and you won't be so angry with them. Because they doing the same fucking thing niggas out here doing. Trying to survive in a system that's trying to kill you in one way or another. 24/7. Your whole life. So, that's for all you folks out there, all you black folks out there, who quick to attack another black person, but you ain't got shit to say to the white folks. Matter of fact, them your friends. You're such a goofball. Anyway, what did you guys think about what Oprah had to say? And I know both of y'all are at least 30 years old, so I'm pretty sure that you've been exposed to Oprah, for some duration of your life. And I'm confident in saying that I'm pretty sure that both of y'all have at least a rudimentary understanding of the fuck shit that Oprah undone, to I won't use the word tarnish because that's a racist term, but to make black men look bad, even though, per her own words, based on what the CDC had to say. In one regard, she damn sure is 100% wrong about black men. What y'all think about that?
Uh, I would say it's funny because, like you said, the majority of her fan base that she catered to was I don't need no man, and men are deadbeats, and black men are deadbeats, and that whole thing. But I also found that funny because too, what you said earlier about where basically there are only 20% of black men that are deadbeats, and the real thing that they should be addressing is the fact that these same dude, this 20% is impregnating what it seems like 70% of the women are. What they say, 70 something percent of single black mothers or something like that, whatever percent that is. Regardless, you're catering to a group and feeding a group that perpetuated that for years. Like,
Yeah,
bro,
so a lot of black
most of the
women
single moms,
multiple baby daddies.
and it's the killer part. Most of the single women that I know, specific, I won't say specifically, but mostly the black ones, when you find out who the father of their kid is, you find out that man don't just got one kid, not two kids. They be having like in the sevens, eights, nines, like you said, what you call it, 29. You know what I mean? And it's like, why not speak on that now? Why not, instead of just trying to bring out you see, she stopped before you went to get to where we at right now. What I'm talking about now, she stopped and said, "Oh wow, this is that been perpetuated is wrong." So how about you state the actual facts after that? If you're not going to apologize, how about you start preaching a message opposing to what you preached much farther?
I can tell you why. Cam Bass, it's right up there on the screen. Cam Bass is making an allusion to what I'm about to say. Oprah is an agent of racial character assassination. That is 159% correct. Because if you understood how this racism shit worked, you would not be upset at black women at all, because that is how it's perpetuated through the woman. And it's perpetuated through her because of her nature. Because by nature, women are arrogant. By nature, women feel powerless in regards to men, and they do any and everything that they can to have power over a man. And if somebody come along and say, "Hey, woman, you now rule over the men," what the fuck do you think they gonna do? Exactly what the fuck they done. But if you don't understand women, you won't understand that. And that's not to dismiss their behavior, because you are responsible for your behavior. But as I always point out, your behavior is also greatly affected by the environment that you in. Ain't no different than a fish in polluted water. Is he not going to breathe the pollution in the water if he in the water? Yeah, of course he is. But Ro, did you have an opinion to offer on Miss
Yeah,
Oprah and her statements?
yeah, it's kind of like what we be talking about all the time. Like I used to tell y'all, I
Okay, you
work
got
with.
some big ass titties, so I gotta give it that. Them just as big as Jiggly. But go ahead.
Yeah, steady gonna whip your ass, nigga. Calm down, nigga. But anyway, uh, like you be talking about, like, okay, if they can go get all these benefits from the white man and get, the Section 8 and fucking child support, alimony, and all this other shit, of course they're gonna take advantage of it. That's like Top. If you told your kids, like, look, we could eat whatever y'all want today, I'm quite sure they're gonna eat all bullshit. If you let your kids eat candy for breakfast, nigga, they gonna eat candy for breakfast. You can't be mad
Exactly.
at the kid for this motherfucking teeth falling out if you tell the nigga that he can eat candy all fucking day. Like, that's
Exactly.
fucking kids. Like, they're going to do it, nigga. They going
Don't
to do it. And the
don't you
only way.
don't you hear these niggas online always refer to women as children with breasts, but they don't have that same understanding that you just stated. But I ain't mean to interrupt you. Please continue, sir.
Yeah, nigga, I mean, shit, man. That's how it's gonna go, man. People are gonna take advantage of what they can take advantage of, and the only way shit gonna change is if, like I was watching a video, for example, right? Niggas was talking about single mothers, single mothers. Why are you a single mother? But like we always talk about, like, they can't be a single mother if we don't make them a single mother. Like, I ain't never had no kids. I ain't never got a bitch pregnant. I ain't never sent a woman to the clinic. I ain't never did none of that because I always protected myself, because idealistically I know shit happens, but I would like to have like a family if I do it, like, some good structure in my shit. Shit happens, people fall off, whatever. But that's how I would like my shit to start off. But a lot of the times these niggas be like single mothers, but they never say nothing about the niggas that make them single mothers. Like, they can't be single mothers. Like, we got to take shit
I,
into our
I
own
think
hands. That's what I'm pretty much saying. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
hey,
I think that's the conundrum.
hold on 1 second, Tone, because I'm glad that you pointed that out, Ro, because I've spoken on this before. I've publicly stated online on somebody's panel. The problem is these dudes. Now, just like you pointed out, a woman can't become a single mother unless some dude make her one. So therefore, as a man, you out of line being mad with the woman. You should be mad with the dude. And that's the same thing that's wrong when it comes to dealing with this racism shit. These guys are mad with these women, but they ain't got no motherfucking smoke for these white men and these white women who incentivize black women to work against us and themselves. But I
I
mean, I could just be talking gibberish and not making no motherfucking sense whatsoever. I'm willing
I
to
have
concede.
a different look at that, especially based off of what I just heard her say, if it's factual. So based on the numbers, like we said earlier,
Oh,
20%.
it's factual. I got the reports.
Right. Okay. Well, so what she's saying is basically there's a small percentage of men who just don't take care of their kids. And for the most part, I would say on most issues that most guys have with women, I can blame men for a lot of them. But with that one, only place I blame men, and this is gonna probably sound super like an incel or whatever, but I think the problem is that they're okay. So a girl could get knocked up by several different dudes who don't give a fuck about their kids, but at some point she knows she's gonna run into some sucker who's gonna take care of all of them. And I think the real issue is that because the real incentive is that at some point she gonna be okay. And you incentivize the behavior of constantly choosing somebody who you're not sure is fit for your child. Because as she just said, it's a small percentage of us black men that move like that. So the real problem is, in my opinion, one, like you say, the fact that they get all the incentive of, oh, you get bailed out through what the white man got for you. That's one incentive. But the other incentive is that, which they really want more, I think, or a lot of them really want more, is that person that's going to make them feel like they're not alone. They still going to want some dude around. And for the most part, these chicks get the most dudes in their DMs, the most dudes trying to smash. That's going, oh, I'll buy you this and buy you that. And she gets what she wants. So I think it's the dude's fault, but not in the way that you're saying, based on her numbers. Like, before I heard that, I would assume, like, granted, I kind of somewhat, I say, believe the trope to be true of the whole, we got a lot of deadbeat dads. Not that, like, we the only ones, but black people got a lot of them, especially compared to, our population here. But given her numbers, I think the real issue is the incentive after. Because that choice is going to be made regardless if they still choose the 20% out of the whole 100. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. I was actually pondering on what you just said to some degree, and I was saying to myself, damn, I mean, there's a lot of dudes out here that really are deadbeat ass dudes. You know what I'm saying? And then make it, and the system uses that as an example for all of us, even though
Right.
for the most part, people know that we know that it's not true, and now that they finally coming out and admitting it, and then you got Oprah, the mouthpiece, putting it out there. Even though, like I said, for the most part, us black men are well aware of this. You know what I'm saying? But another thing that what I was trying to get to is that I think a lot of these women, you know what I'm saying, on their part, and this is where they fucked up at, is a lot of women have these children not necessarily because they into the guy, but strictly because of the incentives that come along with, being a single mother. Which is why they was, be arrogant enough to say shit like, I don't need no man. Yeah, you do, bitch. You might not need a man might not need the man who gave you a baby, but you need that motherfucking man who will give you that WIC check. Because it ain't no women handing out WIC checks and EBT. It's men, white men. So you still need a man. You know what I'm saying? It's just that, like I said before, black women don't need black men for material shit. Because black men really don't have anything material to give to black women to incentivize them to not behave in the manner that they do. That's really what the crux of the problem is. Really.
Like,
Well, see, but based on the numbers, I would say what black men really have to offer is more than that. And the ones caught up in the material are the ones that most of the dudes is caught up in.
Well, I put it to you
Like look at Denzel. Like, for instance, Denzel been married. The girl he was with before he blew up, she was the one getting the acting jobs and doing whatever, and he provided her with, like, he would help her do this, do that, and then eventually he got his role and took over. Now, I'm not saying women should go dating broke niggas because that's the problem, but the problem is the ones who, there are smart women out here that believe in more than just the materialistic. They understand, oh, this person knows what they're doing, regardless of if they got it or not. Let's say he does have it. She know, like, oh, yeah, this dude got money, but he don't really know what he doing with it. He can't teach me nothing. Those are the type of women that most dudes look over for the one that's caught up in the materialistic, because he say, oh, all I gotta do is buy her this, and she gonna give me the ass, and then that's the one that get knocked up.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this, Tone. 3 out of 4 black women have children. So
Yeah.
that statistic alone let me know that they could possibly be doing it for the reasons that I stated. You know what I'm saying? Not
Yeah.
saying that that's the only reason, but I think that's a very powerful motivating reason why a lot of these chicks have kids and then don't want to be bothered with the guy.
Well,
Or they pick guys who they could use as a scapegoat to not have to deal with the guy and be a single mother and get the benefits. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but the guys, it's really the guys picking to be with a woman that only want them for that, because they don't understand. Like, I don't think a lot of men vet the women that they date.
Oh, that's a fact. Not only do they not vet the women that they date, shit, I'm willing to go as far as to say a lot of dudes that got a woman, they don't even fucking like the bitch. Not really.
well,
She convenient and familiar, and she got a vagina.
Mm-hmm.
I want to throw this in there. Like, see, these conversations, like, they're good conversations. Don't get it twisted, but a lot of the times they're pointless conversations, and I'm gonna tell you why. The only way we gonna have a society where everything is structured, everything is gonna have to be forced. Like, I don't know like the correct history, but dudes used to marry off their daughters so they can make alliances with other kingdoms. It was never about love. Like, you would have to take away all of this choosing shit. Like, it should be illegal. All right, if you're a man and you ain't got a house, 2 cars, $200,000 saved up, you can't have sex. Boom. All right, if you're a woman and we find out you're not a virgin or you're a baby mama, like, you go to jail for 10 years. Like, it would have to be some extreme shit like that for shit to really get back in order. Otherwise, these conversations we have are pointless. It's just like I was talking about with the kids. If you let kids choose what they gonna eat for breakfast, nigga, they gonna eat donuts, candy, pancakes. They gonna pick all of this sweet shit. So you have to force niggas. Like, you gotta say, no, nigga, I'm quite sure you do this to your kids. Tone, no,
I
nigga, eat
agree.
them
I
goddamn
agree with you,
vegetables. I don't give a damn what you talking about. We don't got no
bro.
snacks in the
The ice cream
pantry.
truck texting me right now.
Hold on,
The ice
bro.
cream truck texting me right now.
Bro, I agree with you 100%, and that's exactly the point that I be making. Is because black men don't have anything to, as a group, not individually, but as a group, we don't have anything to incentivize black women to come away from behaving like they do. For example, if black men in America, let's say we went somewhere in the middle of the fucking Pacific Ocean, we found a piece of land, nobody on it, this our shit, we put our flag on the ground, we go defend it tooth and nail to the motherfucking death. Now the women that we bring there, they gonna have to go with our program, or else they can't be there.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Gotta be
But see,
forced.
that's why I say I agree with what you're saying. That's what we as black men in America don't have. And as long as we don't have that, then we should not expect black women to cooperate with us. You shouldn't be mad. You know what I'm saying? If that make any sense.
Yeah, that's straight facts, and that's why I just like, okay, these conversations, I don't feel like they shouldn't be had. They should be had, but as long as you live in a world where people get to pick and choose, if I would have been able to make all the decisions, like we was talking about my pops, I'll be thinking about my pops and all the shit that he saved me from. I probably would have made the wrong decision 9 times out of 10. Like, I would have picked the wrong friends. I would have picked the wrong
That's
bitch.
because you
But
a
my
big
dad,
bubblehead ass nigga. I think you know it all,
nah.
nigga.
It's just it's not
Pinky in
that's
the brain,
natural.
nigga.
Hey, that's natural, man. But
I'm
it's
fucking
just
with you,
like
man.
it has to be, you know, it has to be. I don't know the word I'm looking for, but it just has to be. There has to be some control. Like,
Yeah.
you can't let them choose.
You
Like,
have you
okay,
have
if
to
I
you
have
don't
a
got
know,
a
man.
you
I
have,
feel like
if
you
you
have to
wait,
we have to
let me
have a way as black men
wait.
to force to we have to be in a position as black men that when black women came to us, we could essentially make them do what it is that we are requiring of them. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
the
that's what
same way. The same way it's done right here in this country. You know what I'm saying?
that's what I was about to say. Like, Tone, for example, if you had a daughter, like, you would probably pick the best husband for your daughter. You would make the right decision. But guess what? Since she can choose, she's gonna pick the wrong nigga every time. She not gonna want to fuck with the nigga, because the nigga you pick gonna be clean cut. He gonna
And
be
and,
respectful.
and
He gonna go to work. He gonna come home. He gonna be boring. He gonna be fucking consistent. He ain't gonna be a dog ass nigga like you. He gonna be
I
and,
something like that
and
she
the
ain't gonna
reason
want to fuck
and the
with, nigga.
reason why and the
nigga, they the
reason why
dogs. I ain't the
the
dog. They the
reason
dog.
the reason why Tone living in the United States having that same daughter would be unable to do that is because of the influence of the greater society. Is the influence of the greater society is more powerful than our parents in a lot of cases. If it wasn't, we'd all be perfect children. You know what I'm saying? We'd all do exactly what our parents said because we know we will be able to trust that they know exactly what the fuck they talking about. You know what I'm saying? And we could trust them without question. But it is what it is, man. I enjoy having these kinds of conversations because I like having conversations. But I mean, these are the type of things that I'll be thinking about. You know what I'm saying? Not only on from a group perspective, but even on an individual's perspective concerning myself first and foremost. You know, and it's always cool to be able to have these conversations with other people. Look like Tone got that motherfucking that Ray Roach Motel internet, and he dropped off the feed, but hopefully he'll be back. We getting close to that hour mark anyway, and I only got one more clip that I want to share with you guys. But I made an Instagram post today of a meme that basically, and I'm just paraphrasing, but it goes a little something like this: if you call a guy OG or then it's that guy's responsibility to steer you in the right direction and to make sure or ensure, because it's his duty, because he know better, to make sure you make better decisions in your lifetime, so that as a young man you don't have to suffer some of the things that he either went through personally or watched others go through. You know, one thing KRS once said that I found to be very profound is that when young people listen to older people, because we have life experience in abundance, it will make your development faster. And conversely, on the opposite side, when older people listen to younger people, it makes us faster among older people because older people generally don't keep up. And when you're young and you listen to an old motherfucker that know a little something and ain't gonna steer you wrong, and you get around other young people, what you'll find is that you way far more advanced than they are. That's been my life experience. I don't know about y'all, but we're going to share this clip before we get out of this piece until next week. Hold on for the videotape.
Message to my young niggas. Message to my young niggas. You ain't gotta rob nobody to get no money. You ain't gotta steal from nobody to get no money. You ain't gotta kill nobody to get no money. It's enough information available if you're willing to accept the game and play the game properly. You know what I'm saying? No matter whatever game that is. And if you're a hustler and if you got enough ambition about yourself, you can come up in this world. Problem is niggas is lazy, man. You know what I'm saying? The ops ain't your problem. You your own ops. You understand what I'm saying? Stop being your own opposition, man. Focus. get a little more educated about what you're serious about, man, and grind it out, man. You're gonna get blessed for what you did. Game for sale, man.
The young man said a mouthful, and I've learned that in my lifetime because I've been lazy at certain points of my lifetime, and I was not able to benefit. Whereas I could have benefited greatly had I just put a little bit more effort into it. But I agree with what the young man said wholeheartedly. A lot of dudes is lazy. Truth is, many of us prey on our brothers for our breakfast because we too lazy to get up and toil and work so that we can eat. And like I said previously, if somebody's calling you an OG or unk, it's your responsibility to guide them in the correct direction. Like my man Furious Styles from Boys in the Hood when he was kicking it with the young men about Watts and how real estate worked. You know, we sell crack in our hoods, the property value go down, then the police come, take all the niggas and put them in jail, and then the rest of the white people come and kick all the other niggas out, and then they build new shit. It's called gentrification. So just understand when you fucking with T.O.P, man, I'm not here to make your life hard. I might say some shit that you might not agree with, you might not even like. It's all good. But I'm doing it with your best intentions in mind. And with that, I'm going to hand it off to Ro and Tone. We give their final thoughts, and we'll holler at you motherfuckers next Monday at 9 p.m. Go, fellas. Don't make a difference which one first.
Oh, shit, I was just gonna respond to the video, man. Like that shit sound good, but as long as these kids are like brainwashed by rap music and TV and like we was just talking about Oprah and niggas be proud to have baby mamas too. They like, oh, my baby mama, my baby daddy, and all this other shit. As long as that shit is glorified, a lot of these niggas is not gonna get what he was talking about, man. Because it's lit being a jack boy, nigga. It's lit catching a body. Why you think these niggas catch a body then post the shit on the internet and shit? Because like they gonna get clout for it, and they realize too late that it wasn't worth it. But shit, like they want everybody to know that you a gangster. Like, why not just catch your body and just disappear and don't tell nobody? Why not tell nobody that you about to catch a body and just as long as you know you a gangster or whatever? I'm not saying anybody should be catching bodies out here, by the way, but I'm just saying, like, it's just like it's the clout of everything. Like, a nigga will rather be like, let's say it's a doctor out here, he make $500,000, but he look like a nerd and all this other shit. A nigga would rather be a nigga that make $30,000 a year that look lit, with tattoos, and he smoke weed all day, get high, drunk, pop perks and all of that shit. A nigga would rather be the $30,000 nigga because he gonna get more love in the world than the doctor that makes 500,000. So, like, that's why we gotta eliminate that TV shit. I don't think niggas should watch TV no more. Niggas shouldn't listen to fucking rap music no more, at least not all day. You know what I'm saying? Don't listen to that shit all day. And fuck all these Netflix shows and just being on Instagram and YouTube all goddamn day. You gotta cut that shit out because that shit fucking with your mind. Like, like you blocking your own creativity to figure out who you really are. You letting the world tell you who you are if you're just on that shit all day. A lot of these niggas ain't really gangsters, nigga, but they feel like, oh, I grew up in the hood. This is the only thing that I can be. They don't know nothing else. That's because their mind is blocked off. I tell my homie, he like to listen to that hood nigga music all day. I'm like, nigga, you listen to that shit all day, you gonna start acting just like the niggas you listen to all day. Like, and that's why niggas walk around mad. I'll close with this. You go to a club, a rap club, nigga, where they playing trap music and kill nigga, kill nigga, kill nigga. Niggas is mad. I like to go to R&B only type events. Niggas never mad at R&B only type events. We trying to hump on the hoes, nigga. We try to be sexy and shit. Like, niggas don't be mad. It don't be fights going down up in there
This
unless you
nigga be in the club trying to be sexy.
hell yeah, nigga. I got my 3 buttons. I got my shit buttoned down, nigga. The cocoa butter,
He's
nigga. I'm trying to be
standing right in
sexy
front
on
of
the
the
bitch.
fan, nigga.
Hey,
Standing right in front of the fence.
you know, like I always say, bro, man, the two things that I don't like about black people is that one, niggas exist to wake up every morning to show off for other niggas, and that shit don't impress nobody.
Right.
That's anybody. And two, that niggas are very serious about not being very serious. And it's very unfortunate, you know. But anyway, go ahead, Tone, so we can get out of here, man.
I'm gonna go off of what he was just saying, and I think one of the big issues is what we find to be like how you said that the $30,000 nigga get more love from the world than the doctor, and it made me think to myself, what is love from the world? All bitches and all yada yada yada, or is it something else? And I think that's part of our issue is what we consider valuable.
Right.
So like if we consider something else valuable, we wouldn't even care that we didn't get it because it's not valuable to us. And I think that's the real thing that needs to change. And our focus is like, what do we actually find valuable? Like, hey, maybe you do find bitches valuable, but like, at a certain point, that shouldn't be valuable to you. And we don't teach people to like, what more is there to want besides, to black people, what more is there to want besides somebody to fuck, something to eat, and nice shit to have? There's way more stuff to life. You know what I mean? Like traveling.
More, nigga, more. It's always more.
You know what I mean? Like we kind of just we search for the, and a part of this is our situation. Is we kind of just we just want the bare minimum. Like our peak desire is minimal stuff.
As long as you get bitches, nigga, they gonna show you love, nigga. You be the nigga that walk in the club with the bad bitch. You ain't gotta have a car, a job. You got bad credit, nigga. But if you the nigga that bring the bitches, nigga, they gonna act like you the fucking president of the United States, nigga. Oh, that's that nigga with the bitches. That shit don't even mean nothing, nigga. I'm broke as fuck, and she put me out every other goddamn Tuesday. But nigga, when I show up, I look like I'm that nigga though, because I got the little quote unquote baddie.
Are you really getting love?
We more concerned.
Niggas like that though. That's the thing. He likes that.
Because a lot of niggas don't like you because you got that bad bitch. Because you look like you do. You know what I mean? Is that really love? And that's what I'm saying.
Not, but
niggas is just like the women that they fucking complain about, man. They all about appearance and no motherfucking substance. And with that, we will holler at you motherfuckers next week. I'm going to get me something to eat, and I'm gonna take me a shower because I gotta be up early in the morning.
Dinosaur age.
See, if you had a big girl, you wouldn't have to get up and go to work in the morning. She'd take care of you.
Nigga, let me
and you wouldn't be needing to get nothing to eat. You'd be looking at it right now.
Nigga, let me know what
it'd be her.
Next week, dog.
Only thing I wanna do is to perform before a nigga dies. Get the feeling that we made it in my city's eyes. Just living life, no, I'm living mine. If we ain't make it to the top, man, at least we try. A day in the life, lead the best nights. I know you see me in them bright lights. I just stand here a man in the spotlight with champagne flows and pop bottles until I drop. Trying to catch J.G.I.Z.A. On records I hypnotize any competitor doing whatever to try to minimize. Eyes be on the grind till my cake right. Got my city on the back through the hustle in that concrete jungle. When that times, yeah, I struggle through that grapevine. Chilling in that cloud of that grapevine. Like a star, I just shine in the late night. And from the kingdom, I make them recognize I'm alive. Trying to figure why these whack niggas trying to bite. Eat the head of these haters, now I got the itis. Switch to something nicer, and my touch is Midas. And your girls love us, cause ain't none like us. Iron fist swing fire like Air Bison. Iron fist KO a nigga, M. Tyson. Blow horns for my enemies, no Viking. Just the flow, you should tend to see, no tighten. The sky's like you, the lightning. Slash in the cipher when I'm freestyling. I got a style like the 4 horsemen. Within time and swing lightsaber swords with deadly force. And my armor is night is shining. Just a star, ain't nobody can deny it. Look up in the sky if you need reminding. Blind critics off at first sight, distorted if they look twice. Got her to the manger, it's amazing. 3 kings, 3 wise men. Spit danger, eyes shrunken, drunk driving. Pip blowing, I'm lane switching with no license. Just do it for the checks, I lie Nike. Parachuting from the jet, young skydiver. Higher than that tenor singer in choir. Flyer than that bag from that new designer. I got bags of this shit, I'm a true supplier. So put them lighters in the air, make you feel the fire. Only thing I wanna do is to perform before a nigga dies. Get the feeling that we made it in my city's eyes. Just living life, know I'm living mine. If we ain't make it to the top, man, at least we try.